told me I wasn't gonna get far. So I told him like this.
What's up, amigos? It's the Prodigy Maker Minute with yours truly, Chris Lewitt. As you may know, I'm the former #1 for Cornell University, pro circuit player, elite junior development coach, and author and educator, author of The Secrets of Spanish Tennis and the Tennis Technique Bible. Well, I had another question in one of the comments for one of our videos, and it was, what do I think of the teaching method of Oscar Wegner and MTM, or modern tennis methodology? So I have studied some of Oscar's method and watched some of his videos. I've never studied with Oscar personally, but he seems like a very dynamic guy, very intelligent guy. I have actually communicated with Oscar via email and phone doing some research for my book, The Secrets of Spanish Tennis, and he was very kind and generous with his time. But in terms of his method, I think there's some good things that I like and some things that I don't like. But one of the things I really like a lot is the openness to intuitive learning and the openness to doing what's natural with your body. And that's something that is very uncommon in tennis teaching circles. A lot of coaches are very rigid and they believed in sort of a fixed formulaic way of teaching. And what I like about Oscar, and I think he got a lot of this from his time in Spain in the 70s, was the concept of sort of going with what feels best to the player, trusting the intuition of the player, and letting the player do what feels natural and comfortable for them. That is still a very important part of the Spanish method, especially the method of Luis Bruguera and the lineage, the teaching system of the Bruguera style of coaching. Pato Alvarez, on the other hand, was a bit more formulaic and definitely dogmatic. But I do like that about Oscar and his philosophy. Also with the forehand, I think he was definitely way ahead of his time, and he got the forehand right back in the 70s and 80s when everyone was hitting the forehand, you know, racket back, stepping into the ball, stiff and close stance. You know, Oscar was even then, I think it was ridiculed at the time by many critics, talking about the open stance, the semi-open stance, and lifting the body off the ground, basically exploding off the ground, heavy top spin. And what I like is there's a lot of good fluidity in the way Oscar teaches the forehand, for example. So I'm a big proponent of that and believer in that, is the fluidity, the elasticity that you see the way Oscar teaches the forehand. I think that's a really good thing. One of the things I don't like about the forehand is the pulling off the ball. I still think it's beneficial to focus on the line of the shot. That's where Oscar sort of veers away from the typical Spanish focus, because if you look at the legends of Spanish tennis, they usually focus on the line of the shot, the extension through the ball. Tony Nadal talks about accompanying the ball. Luis Bruguera talks about the line of the shot. It's like a really important part of the Spanish method overall, and Oscar sort of veers away from that, and he talks about pulling off the ball and pulling off the line of the shot. And I don't like the way he demos that. I've seen a number of videos where he demos the forehand and he's pulling across, you know, sort of across and down. And I don't like the extraneous body movement that you see in that sort of demonstration. In Spain, typically, the players taught to keep the body quiet without extraneous movement to the side, and never to swing across that way, always to stay with the ball, to accompany the ball, to follow the ball, basically extend. That's a huge part of most technical teaching. There's not a lot of technical teaching in Spain, but that is a big part of the technical approach in Spain, even though there's not a lot of technique taught in Spain. Spain is a pretty simple method simple parameters in Spain, and broad parameters. That's another thing that I like about Oscar's method, is he's always trying to make the game simple and easy to learn, and, you know, simple concepts, broad parameters, open to the player's learning and intuition. I think those are really healthy things. Reminds me a lot of the teachings of Luis Bruguera. I've studied with Luis in Spain for many years, and those sort of concepts ring true to me. And so I definitely like that, the idea of simplification. Luis Bruguera always talks about how coaches make the game too complex, how coaches make the teaching technique too complex, and they like to talk too much. And so I really admire that aspect of Oscar's teaching method. But no method is perfect, and every successful coach has a different way. As I always say, I try to learn from all the great ones, and some things I discard and some things I take, and I try to incorporate those best qualities into my own teaching method and what I do with my students on the court. But there's definitely some good things there and some things I also disagree with. Guys, I will see you on the next program. In the meantime, would you please mind subscribing? If you don't mind, we need subscribers to build the channel and to create this intelligent tennis community. I really appreciate it if you're into that kind of thing. I know some people don't like that, but if you're one of those non-subscribing people, that's fine. You can still enjoy our videos, but it'd be cool to grow this community, get this channel going. We're close to 3,000 subscribers, and one of the goals, a personal goal I have, is to try to get to, we'd like to get to 10,000 subscribers, and I don't know when we can do it, but that's like a good short-term goal for us. So thank you for helping us out, and I'll see you guys on the next program.
They told me I wasn't gonna get far.